Okay, so while I started my CA, I was pretty young, of course, and my mom had this thing about me that I should get married very quick.
Okay.
By the age of 18, I should be
18.
married. Yeah. So I was only 17 when they started looking out the proposals for me, and I actually went to see a boy for my wedding. And that was the time I was doing my CA journey. I just started with my foundation exams in it. So I think my journey was pretty much more about what everybody else wanted of me. And he made me start my teaching journey. So I started coaching CA students, economics, management, CS students. Where is the passion? Where is the you in it? So don't miss the you. My 2 cents, you is equal to you. Before you is equal to a CA, before you is equal to a son or a daughter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with CA with me, your host, Sheena Barwani. Today on this episode, we have CA Pooja Bardia, a chartered accountant turned counselor and life coach. So let's get started as we deep dive into her journey as to how she became a chartered accountant and how she transformed 1 lakh plus lives around the globe. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the show. We're really happy to have you over here. So,
Thank you so much, Gina, for inviting us. It's a pleasure on my end.
thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's really nice to have you over here. My first question is going to be, you've been a rank holder in 10th and 12th, right?
Yeah.
And a school topper.
Yes.
So how did that influence you to become a chartered accountant?
Kind of. My father influenced me to become a chartered accountant.
Okay.
I would say right when I was, I think 8 or 9, it was instilled in me that for a woman it's easier to become a chartered accountant because when she gets married, then it becomes very easy. So I think that was one thing. But also 10th and 12th, my marks and me being a school topper, my commerce teacher, she really, she knew that my father had this dream for me, and I'd been speaking about it. So she was like, you should go ahead for this. So I didn't give it like a thought at all.
Okay.
Post my 12th, I just went and registered for my CA foundation.
Oh, okay. So, like
I was actually insisted in school to go in for the science group because I'm a topper and I'm very good at studies.
Correct.
But science was nowhere in my family. So yeah.
So you come from a line of chartered accountants or
Yes, I
generation?
come from a family of chartered accountants. A lot of chartered accountants in my family.
Okay, how many to be precise?
About I think 7 or 8 in the extended family, of course.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So your father, has his own firm?
Yeah, my father has his own firm, and he started his own firm when he was very, very young. So that was the inspiration for me. Yeah.
That's nice. So tell me, I also know that for a fact that you have had difficulty in completing your CA, right?
Yes, I think everybody goes through that.
A lot of dilemma,
Everybody, yes,
a lot
yes.
of a responsibility. So guide me through your journey in that.
Okay, so while I started my CA, I was pretty young, of course, and my mom had this thing about me that I should get married very quick.
Okay.
By the age of 18, I should be
18.
married. Yeah. So I was only 17 when they started looking out for proposals for me, and I actually went to see a boy for my wedding, and that was the time I was doing my CA journey. I just started with my foundation exams and everything. So I think my journey was pretty much more about what everybody else wanted of me.
Okay.
I never got a chance to think of what I wanted at that moment. My mother wanted me to get married. My father wanted me to do CA. And then when I got engaged, my in-laws and my husband wanted me to do CA, continue with it. So it was all about what others wanted for me. It was never about what I wanted for myself at that point of time.
Correct. So then, like while you were doing your art, like how did you do your articleship? Did you?
So that's the thing. I was married at 18.
Correct.
And
it's a new responsibility.
It's a new responsibility. I went, it was, going from Chennai to Indore.
Okay.
And Indore is a very small place, but everybody knows everybody. And it's like, a lot of socializing.
Correct.
And in our Marwadi culture, there's a lot of socializing when you get married.
Yeah.
When you're newly married.
Yeah, definitely.
So it so happened that I had just completed my inter. I had just given my exams, and post 10 days, I had my marriage. So when the result came, I was all done. Like I had cleared in the first attempt. But the time came for articleship, and articleship was like very hectic, 9 to 5. And I had to attend classes in the morning, 6 to 8. Then I had to attend classes in the evening, 6 to 8. Go back home, change, wear into a sari, and go socializing for weddings. Come back late night about like 2. Sleep, get up in the morning, 4 o'clock, again rush for classes. So it was very hectic. Almost for a month and a half, I tried doing so. I was finding myself crying every night, and not keeping healthy at all. Then I asked myself, what is it that I can give up? I think at that point of time, the only compromise that I could make, because I was newly married and it was unacceptable of me to, not do those things. And I used to give importance to other people at that point of time. So the only thing that I could compromise was my articleship, and hence I went in for dummy.
Oh, okay.
After 1 month, I took dummy with my dad, and I went. And that's when I realized that I think, probably if that would not have been the case, I would have been like fully practicing CA by now. Everything happens for a reason.
After your articleship, now you had gone through a dummy articleship. You've got accustomed to your family, new family.
Yeah.
Right. How was your CA final preparation?
Yep, so CA final preparation, I took 3 attempts to give my
Okay.
CA finals. And the first attempt, I came 6 months and stayed in my mom's place from Indore to Chennai, because it was just getting impossible to study there with the
Okay.
heavy social circle and social life. And people would not understand the importance of time that you need to invest as a chartered accountant,
Exactly.
the course journey. So 6 months I came down, I prepared. I cleared one group, then I went back because I, of course, had one more group. While I was giving my second attempt, it was Diwali time, and I had dengue. For a month, I was severely sick. Then I went to my nani's house, my mother's house was
Correct.
in Indore. I went and stayed there because it was just not impossible. It was just impossible to stay at, my in-laws' place and study. So I went there, and then there I cleared 2 papers. And then the third attempt was when I actually came, partied and I socialized, and I gave my last 2 papers and I cleared then. Yeah. So the journey was not so easy at all.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
there was so much of pressure from my parents' side and from my in-law side also to have a baby at that point of
Okay.
time. And I was like, how will I manage both?
Correct.
So, I'd been trying for the baby, but I was like, only when I clear my CA. And then by the time I came to the last attempt, it was so much of pressure that I was like, let's just go for it. And I, surprisingly, I had my baby in the year 2000. I conceived in the year 2010.
Okay.
So while I was pregnant, 1 month later, my result was going to come and I cleared my CA.
Oh, okay. That's
So it
nice.
was
So your
like in the
baby.
same month, I had 2 good news. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So after your CA, then now you have, apart from being a newlywed, which while you were doing your CA, now you have a kid.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
then you cleared your CA. So how was that?
It-
What dilemma did you
It
go
was-
through?
I think a woman's journey is always about dilemma. No? I
Yeah.
mean, you're always struggling from one place
Correct.
to. You feel like you've done it all, and then another challenge comes
Yeah.
up. So then, when I had my first baby, I wanted to be there for the baby.
Correct. You want to spend time with
yeah,
your
although
kid.
I was told, there'll be a maid and things can be taken care of, because it was my first baby and I wanted to give time to it.
Ma'am, post your qualification,
Yeah.
what was your mindset at that point of time?
So after I cleared my CA, I was like, what should I do now,
Correct,
professionally?
yeah.
Because, I am a mother now. By then I was a mother, and I was like, I can't give full time to, profession, because I want to be a mother. I just
Correct.
didn't give birth to a child to just, not be a mother. So I wanted to give more time and attention there. So what could I possibly do? And doing CA part-time was not something that was easy at that point of time, especially knowing where I come from without any practical experience. So I went to my law professor, and I was like, what should I do? You know me so well. He's like, yes, I know you so well, and I really know that you'll be an amazing teacher.
Okay.
And he made me start my teaching journey. So I started coaching CA students, economics, management, CS
Okay.
students. And then I went on to do GMCS, MCS, personality development, all of that. So my journey began like that.
As a teacher.
As a teacher. And that was something that I wanted to do since I was very young. When you play teacher
Yeah,
at home,
correct.
I was like literally, I took that game a little too seriously. And I was like the happiest when I was able to help people. And what's the job of a teacher? To help
Correct.
and transform your journey. So I was the happiest doing that. So I was like, wow, I found my calling. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I just went into it. That's where my journey began.
That's nice. So as a teacher, then you started off as a teacher in
Yeah.
your law and probably economics and
yeah.
all of it, right? For CA students and then
Yeah.
CS. How did you become a healer?
Okay, that's very, very, very beautiful and a very transformative journey. The
Yeah.
real transformation begins with body, right? Body, mind, and soul.
Correct.
Healing is the last part of it, but it's the most essential part of it, because we are all made of energy. So in this journey, I went to so many colleges, did so much of freelancing, and my own marriage and my own personal journey was quite tough. I wouldn't say it was easy. Mentally, I was going through different challenges, and emotionally, I was stuck up at many places. So I took up to body transformation during pandemic.
Okay.
And uh, when people were blaming the pandemic, for me it was a paradise because I was like, I have all the time right now, so let me focus on my body.
Correct.
I went down from 87 kgs to 47 kgs in a span of like 1.5 years. And that was the most beautiful part of my life. Now that inspired me and gave me a lot of mental strength and courage to make some decisions in my life which were pending for so many years, about 15 years. And then I was like, I was a much more confident person because of my weight transformation.
Correct.
When you do a physical transformation is also a mental transformation simultaneously
Definitely,
going
yeah.
ahead for you. So I was like, I worked on my body, my mind, I am much more stronger now. What is the next in this journey? So I was able to handle my emotions better. So I just, happened to just visit a healer. And that's when I was contemplating whether, I should take my divorce or not. And he sent me back. Literally, he sent me back to my marriage. He's like,
Okay.
just go ahead and, start your healing journey and go back to your marriage when I had left and come. So I went back and I gave my best, surrendered. And then things didn't work out. And because I had started my healing journey, things started to come out in a very profound state, and people started to realize and see what I've been telling for so many years. So I think it was a boon. And that's when my healing journey sparked for me, that I came back, I quit, and I started learning healing, and I started doing a lot of healing for myself. So when we talk about healing, it's just not mental and body. There's a lot of energy blockages that
Yeah.
we have, which is stopping you from your growth, from your karmic journey, a lot of other things. So when I started my journey, I was like, I had a lot of transformative from the dark to the light, a lot of ups and downs. But those ups and downs, I could see every time that whenever I heal out of something, the outcome is very beautiful. It's giving me more and more peace.
Correct.
And I'm a person of peace. And I think all of us are people of
Yeah.
peace. We all want peace. But at what cost are we? What are the costs that we are paying for the peace that we want? That's a very big question that, people don't want to question themselves. So they're just stuck with what they are. And this healing just started for me. And when I started seeing that multifold transformations, I was like, I need to give this to the world. And that's where, in that journey, I was also, being a certified life coach and, counseling. I was doing that for so many years, but I was not like qualified for that. Then I went through that, and then healing journey was going on simultaneously. With the multiple transformations over the last 3 years, I was there, and I was like, this is what I want to be.
That's nice.
This is where I see myself, and this is what I am made for. So the true purpose, the true calling that we call, we all have. Some seek it at the age 20.
Correct.
Some seek it at the age 70. I'm blessed to seek it at this age of, I was 34 when I started my healing journey, and now I'm 36. And I'm so happy and grateful for all that I went, because all that was leading me to where I am today, the blissful navigator.
That's nice. So you said you were also a coach in between,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what made you want to become a coach? Was it like your teaching journey?
My teaching journey inspired me a lot. When I was teaching CA students, I went through, I came across students who wanted to come and share their lives with me. They came and told me that they're very comfortable in sharing and they feel very free. And everybody had issues, like everybody has problems. So a lot of that happened. A lot of counseling used to happen. At that time, I used to do it for free. And every student who would come for counseling to me, they'll be like, ma'am, you're so good at it, we feel like a completely transformed person.
Okay.
And then I went on to, coach professionals and entrepreneurs and homemakers. It just went on the journey. So I think being the coach part was what I was supposed to be. It had to start with my teaching journey for me to know what my true calling is.
Correct.
So that passion was there. Passion is to transform as a teacher, whether it is a teacher, whether it is as a coach, whether it is as a, counselor, healer. Purpose is to transform. So I found my purpose from the CA students. So I'm very, very grateful for this beautiful CA journey that I have had.
That's nice. So, say for example, now a student is there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and someone who might be viewing this video,
yeah.
right? What is something which you would want to tell them when it comes to as a coach in terms of CA?
Okay, as a coach in terms of CA, I would say that, CA teaches you patience, CA teaches you compassion also, and CA teaches you all the things that you need in your entrepreneurial journey. So being a CA is something to be proud of and not to be taken as a fear factor, because
Okay.
a lot of students today fear the CA journey. It's so difficult to pass the exams, it's so difficult to do this, it's so difficult. I believe that the journey may be difficult, may be filled with challenges, but there is no failure in this. The concept of failure is not there. It's just success to successful. With every attempt of examination that you're giving, you're becoming more and more closer to your success journey. And from there, when you start fighting those challenges and struggles, finding the right solutions, you really convert your success journey into becoming successful. And articleship is a very, very important part. I think because I missed on the articleship
Correct,
part, I
yeah.
know the importance. So when students in my classes used to come and crib about their articleship journey, I would always tell them this one thing, this is your time to learn everything. And when you have learned in depth and when you be in that same position, you don't repeat those things, right?
Yeah,
So it's a
definitely.
learning. And, instead of cribbing and complaining, just go ahead. Go there and give your best. This is your time. It's never going to come back. I miss that time. Probably if I would have done articleship, I wouldn't be doing what I am. So it's either way,
A give and take.
it's a give and take, yes. So articleship is a very, very important part. And one more thing that I would like to tell students is a lot of CA students feel the pressure all the more because they are just into books. They are just into the CA course. They don't see left, right, center. They forget that they have a social life. They forget that they loved reading books at one point of time, that they love playing sports. They love their music. When I'm sitting in this class and I'm like, what are your hobbies? They're just into books. They don't know what their hobbies are anymore. So my piece of advice that I would give, my
Correct.
2 cents, that continue your passion, even if even if it is at a very small level. Do not stop with it, because your CA is going to be very useful to you, but at the same time your life continues. CA is not at all,
Yeah,
it's a part of your life.
Yeah,
But there is more to you. That's just your profession. What is it about you?
yeah.
So when you have to come and talk about yourself, you don't know what to talk. I have done articleship here. I belong to this city. This is my name. This is the firm I go to. That's all they know. Where is the passion? Where is the you in it? So don't miss the you. My 2 cents, you is equal to you. Before you is equal to a CA, before you is equal to a son or a daughter, before you is equal to a student, whatever. You is equal to you first. So give yourself that passion. Give yourself time for that personal time, that hobby, and do not stop with it. Maybe it can lessen a bit, but it should not stop.
That's nice. So that's really beautiful the way you put it. So, ma'am, you're dedicated quite an amount of time to coaching CA students even till date,
Yes.
right? So, is that your way of giving back to?
Absolutely. Your alma mater has given you so much. And I'm so, so grateful for the journey that I think if I can change even one CA student's life, I think I've done wonders. And every session that I take, I feel so fulfilled when I go back home. And when I have had CA students share with me their in-depth, their emotions, and then after the class, they text long messages about what they're feeling and how they have gone through this and how one sentence of mine has helped them. And they come back and say this after like 5 years, 7 years, 10 years also. So I think that's a remarkable achievement for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to continue that for all my life.
So, say for example, if in the CA curriculum you could add add a paper, what would it be?
It would be transformation.
Transformation.
Yeah, I think everybody needs that. And I've multiple times told, a lot of people in the CA fraternity that, you should have something like that, because that's what is needed, especially for the CA journey, because CA students go through a lot of mental struggle.
Correct.
Because of the pressure, or because of the peer pressure, because of their families, because of their friends doing other things,
Yeah.
MBA and all, and they are like free birds, and we are stuck with the book. So that's what happens. So I think mental health is something that I would add as a paper, definitely.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So I've had a wonderful time talking to you and conversing with you. I would like to know, what are your future plans for Blissful Navigator?
Okay, so the Blissful Navigator, it's a one-stop place for mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness. So when a person comes to the Blissful Navigator, he should go transformed, not just temporarily, but a permanent transformation, which stays with him, where he doesn't need to keep seeking help outside again. He can do it all by himself. So the idea and the vision for the Blissful Navigator is to heal millions of people throughout the world, to travel profusely, to help people see different perspectives of their lives in whatsoever manner possible, through books, through writings, through poems, through reading, through traveling, through movement, through all of this, and through healing, of course.
To any woman out there, right? Because right now I know your journey after this interview.
Yeah.
As to how you have juggled multiple roles. and multiple decisions at different points of time in your life. To any woman out there who's pursuing CA, what would your advice be?
My advice be listen to your heart. Your heart is always speaking to you, your intuition, your gut is always speaking to you. Don't listen to the voices inside your head because one, it is not coming from your head, it is coming from the multiple voices that have been stored in your head. Because for years we've been trained to listen to them.
Correct.
And when you get out of that zone, you hear the true voice, your true calling, your true passion has always been there for you. But you have not paid attention to it. So pay attention to it and don't let go of that at any cost. Just pay attention to it and just take it all and jump. Like how you jumped in the CA course and you just, you knew the end would be good and you would, become a CA and help the world and help yourself. I think whatever issues you may be struggling in your life, in your journey, just take that leap of faith. It's very important. And once again, be grateful for everything that you have been through because all is a part of divine plan. And be grateful for who you are and whatever it is because all that you did has led you here. You're always in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. So listen to your heart.
That's really nice. So thank you for this wonderful conversation, and we are on to our next segment. On this particular segment, we have the CA from the previous episode that would have left a question for you, not knowing who is going to come in next. Okay. So I'm going to quickly read that question.
Okay.
And I'd love for you to answer it.
Okay.
So last time we had 3 CAs on the show. So it was like, it was a really nice, fun episode with CA Maitri Chedda, CA Dinesh Tejwani, and CA Uday Shah.
Okay.
So they've left a question as to why is CA profession becoming less popular career choice among today's generation?
It's a very beautiful question. CA is becoming a less known and less taken for career choice. It's because of the idea that, again, as I said, mental health is a very important factor these days, and there's a lot of pressure in CA. I think it's all about perspective. So if you start changing your perspective, and if more and more CAs who have already done CAs and already gone through their journey share their journeys and their stories, and people will be able to change that story for themselves. So what is a limiting belief now will be changed to a very strong belief system, which will not limit them but will empower them. So I think that peace factor which goes missing because of the pressure, that is why more and more people are not taking in and they're going in other streams of work because they feel there is more freedom of, time, energy, and yeah.
That's nice. So I'd love for you to give a question too as well.
Okay, I should write it down?
Yeah.
Should I speak it also? Or?
No. We'll probably want to reveal it on the next episode.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this. And it's really great talking to you. And we're on to our next fun segment.
Okay.
So for this particular segment, it's called Beyond the Balance Sheets, is where I want to deep dive into a person's journey and get to know their fun side.
Absolutely.
Right. So I have a few questions prepared. Going to be using my phone for this segment, so pardon me for that.
Okay.
If you could balance the book of your life, of your dreams, what would your ideal balance sheet look like? And which healing modality would you use to achieve it?
So balance sheet of my dreams would be, the liabilities would be probably, the gift that I want to give to the society. But also the assets is that I want to keep the assets so strong. The asset would be my own, vision for myself and my growth as a person. Not just as a mother, but as a person. So that, because mother is said to be very unconditional, right?
Yeah.
In the love and whatever she gives.
It's more like goodwill.
It's more like goodwill, yes. And so that is the kind of goodwill that I want to be, just not as a mother, but for the entire society as well, where they don't look up to me as an idol, but they look up to me that if she can do it, I can do it too. That would probably be the thing. And the healing modality I've been using for this is pendulum dowsing, and I would continue using them. It's one of my favorite ways to heal. I think it's been a very beautiful transformative journey.
That's nice. So imagine your accounting ledger could talk. What do you think it would say about your transition from CA to life coach?
Oh, my accounting ledger would be like, Pooja, maybe you in the beginning didn't make enough money, but you did it. and you found peace, and that peace that you've embraced, you can empower yourself and millions of people with that. So amazing, good work.
That's nice. So, if you had to create a financial health checkup for your clients, what would be the top 3 indicators you'd include, and how would you use your healing skills to address them?
So the top 3 indicators that I would include would be one, belief systems. I think a lot of financial baggage comes from the limiting beliefs that you carry. So yes, belief systems will I will check on what belief systems are they carrying, and that's one thing. Second would be their mindset. Okay, not just with the belief systems, but with the patterns. I think patterns hold a very strong life. So that would be ancestral, how the ancestors have worked and how the family lineage has been, taking financial decisions, and that plays a very important role. That, and also change. How easily are they able to adapt to change or not? So that will be a very, I think these three are very important to understand and gauge their financial health. Are they open to change? Are they carrying any belief systems? Are they having any strongholds in their ancestral lineage for patterns?
So, can you share a fun story about a time when you used your accounting skills in a surprising way to solve a personal or professional problem?
Okay, so there was this one client who was a chartered accountant himself, and while I was talking to him, and he was just not able to understand why, that healing journey is so important. So I gave him the example of assets and liabilities. I told him that, if you're an unhealed person, you're more of a liability to your family, to your surroundings, to your own self. But if you are a healed person, you are more of an asset because you have more to give. So I think at that moment I think that line saved the client. He really, really understood the nuances of what he was doing in his life. So yeah,
That's nice.
I think not the fun part of it, but yes, sometimes you have to use the language of the client. Only then they understand it.
Correct.
So I think that was it. That was a moment for him.
So, my last question over here would be, if you could host a healing and accounting workshop,
Yeah.
what would be the first activity that you'd include to make it both insightful and enjoyable?
Okay, healing and accounting. I would make them do the entire basics of accounting.
Okay.
Like, I would make them pass journal entries of how they've, the situations that they've been through, the struggles that they've been through. And I will make them do an entire, trial balance sheet, everything. And in the end, everything is there in black and white on paper as to what their struggles have been, how they've taken solutions to it, and how they've solved their issues, and what else they can do to it. So yes, I would make them do all of their healing through the debit and credit.
That's amazing.
With the golden rules of accounting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for this. And the interview has been like wonderful. And as a token of appreciation, we'd love to give you this.
Thank you so
and
much.
For answering
Hina.
all my questions patiently.
Thank you
thank
so
you
much,
once again
Hina.
for
Thank you.
all the
It was a
interview.
pleasure. I love the fun part of it, the questions. I mean, you came well prepared, and I was not so prepared, but yeah, I mean, that's how the beauty is. So, yeah,
Thank you so much for this.
Yeah.